Today, we're counting down 15 of the biggest quantum computing breakthroughs reported this year, all based on trusted updates from researchers and leading companies. Stay with us until the end, because the number one breakthrough could change the future of quantum computing in a major way. Before we begin, here's a simple way to understand what quantum computing is. A regular computer works with bits that are either 0 or 1, like a light switch that is either off or on. A quantum computer uses qubits, which can represent multiple possibilities at the same time. Because of that, quantum computers can explore many possible answers at once instead of checking them one by one. This gives them the potential to solve extremely difficult problems that would take normal computers far too long. These include discovering new medicines, improving climate research, strengthening online security, and solving other complex scientific challenges. Now, let's begin our countdown. 15. Better climate and energy modeling. Managing a modern power grid is incredibly complex. Every day, operators must balance electricity production, demand, weather, conditions, and many other factors. The number of possible combinations becomes enormous very quickly. In 2025, IonQ and Oak Ridge National Laboratory tested a hybrid system that combined quantum and traditional computing to handle this challenge. Their system scheduled 26 power generators over a 24-hour period using a 36-qubit quantum processor. During the same year, other research teams also explored quantum methods for solving difficult problems involving tsunamis and fluid movement. These projects are more than simple research tests. They show how quantum computing could improve renewable energy planning and create more accurate climate models, areas where today's classical computers often reach their limits. 14. Faster drug discovery. Developing a new medicine takes years, and one of the biggest challenges is understanding how molecules behave. In 2025, IBM worked with Moderna to study RNA structures using IBM's Heron quantum chip. Their work successfully modeled RNA sequences containing up to 60 nucleotides. At the same time, IonQ and Kipu Quantum simulated protein folding involving up to 12 amino acids. These systems are still small, but they represent important progress. Every improvement helps scientists better understand complex biological structures, bringing us closer to faster development of vaccines and new treatments. 13. DARPA pushes fault-tolerant quantum computing forward. Today's quantum computers are powerful, but they still make too many mistakes. Even small errors can quickly build up and stop a calculation from finishing correctly. That's why researchers are focused on fault-tolerant quantum computing. The goal is to create systems that can detect and correct their own errors while they work. In 2025, the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, better known as DARPA, moved Microsoft and PsiQuantum into the final stage of its US 2QC program. The project is no longer centered on ideas alone. The focus is now on building and proving that a useful fault-tolerant quantum computer can actually work. DARPA has supported major technologies in the past, including the early development of the Internet and GPS. Its continued investment shows that fault-tolerant quantum computing has become an important national priority. 12. Connecting quantum computers together. Instead of trying to build one huge quantum chip, researchers are finding ways to connect several smaller chips so they can work as one larger system. In 2025, scientists at Oxford University linked two ion trap quantum modules using light. They successfully teleported a quantum gate with 86% fidelity and even ran Grover's algorithm across both modules with a 71% success rate. Meanwhile, teams working with superconducting quantum processors created chip-to-chip connections that reached 99% efficiency in less than 100 nanoseconds. These advances bring modular quantum computers much closer to reality. Just as modern data centers rely on many connected computers instead of one giant machine, future quantum systems may follow the same approach. 11. Neutral atom systems reach a new scale. Imagine thousands of tiny atoms floating in place, each held by a carefully controlled laser beam. This method, known as optical tweezers, is becoming one of the most promising approaches to quantum computing. In 2025, researchers at Caltech expanded these systems to more than 6,000 neutral atoms. They also achieved 12-second coherence times and read the atoms with better than 99.99% accuracy. On smaller setups, research teams demonstrated 99.5% 2-qubit gate fidelity across dozens of atoms. These results show that neutral atom technology is making progress in both size and precision. Because of this combination, many researchers now see it as one of the strongest candidates for building future quantum computers with millions of qubits. 10. Pascal expands beyond Europe. French quantum company Pascal, known for its neutral atom processors, is growing beyond its home region. In 2025, the company announced plans to expand manufacturing into Saudi Arabia and South Korea. At first, this may sound like regular business news, but it represents something much bigger. Building powerful quantum computers isn't only about designing better hardware. It also depends on creating strong manufacturing networks and reliable supply chains. By opening operations in different parts of the world, Pascal is helping turn quantum computing into a global industry, instead of one limited to research laboratories. 9. D-wave models. Magnetic materials. Understanding magnetic materials is extremely difficult because countless tiny magnetic particles interact with one another at the same time. Traditional supercomputers struggle with calculations this large. In 2025, D-Wave used its quantum annealer to simulate these magnetic systems more efficiently than leading classical methods. This is one of the few examples where quantum technology showed a practical advantage instead of only theoretical potential. Although quantum annealers work differently from universal quantum computers, they are especially useful for solving complex physics problems. Better simulations can help researchers design improved materials and support future advances in technology. 8. Certified quantum randomness. Random numbers are essential for encryption, secure communications, and many financial systems. In 2025, researchers from JP Morgan, Quantinuum, and several US laboratories demonstrated a major achievement. Using Quantinuum's 56-qubit H21 trapped ion quantum computer, they successfully carried out a certified randomness protocol. The numbers produced were mathematically verified to be truly unpredictable. This was an important milestone because it moves beyond simply assuming numbers are random. Instead, the randomness itself can now be verified, creating a stronger foundation for future digital security systems. 7. Quera reaches a major milestone in error correction. For years, scientists have agreed on one thing. Without magic state distillation, truly fault-tolerant quantum computers would not be possible. This process takes noisy, unreliable quantum states and turns them into high-quality states that can be used for accurate calculations. In 2025, Quera successfully demonstrated this process at scale. This achievement is a major step forward because it shows that one of the key building blocks for error-corrected quantum computing is moving beyond theory. With this milestone in place, researchers are getting closer to quantum computers that can run longer and more useful programs without being overwhelmed by errors. 6. D-wave studies. False vacuum decay. One of the most fascinating breakthroughs of 2025 came from D-wave. Using its Advantage quantum system, the company simulated false vacuum decay, a concept from quantum field theory that describes how the universe could move from one energy state to another. The calculations involved are too difficult for classical supercomputers to solve efficiently, but D-Wave's quantum annealer was able to model the process. This research was more than an engineering demonstration. It showed that quantum computers can also help scientists explore some of the deepest questions in physics, expanding their role beyond business and industrial applications. 5. Google's Willow processor. Google's Willow processor, built with 105 superconducting qubits, delivered one of the most important results of 2025. During testing, the chip achieved below-threshold error correction, something researchers have worked toward for many years. Normally, adding more qubits also increases the number of errors. Willow showed the opposite. As the system grew, the error rate actually decreased. This is an important turning point because it suggests that larger quantum computers can become more reliable instead of less reliable. If future systems continue to show the same behavior, Willow could help bridge the gap between experimental machines and practical fault-tolerant quantum computers. 4. Fujitsu and Riken introduce a 256-qubit quantum computer. In April 2025, Fujitsu and Riken unveiled a 256-qubit superconducting quantum computer, a major upgrade from their earlier 64-qubit system. This is now the most powerful quantum computer developed in Japan, and the two organizations are already working toward a 1,000-qubit system planned for 2026. The achievement is important for more than just the numbers. It shows that Japan is becoming a stronger competitor in the global quantum race. For many years, much of the progress in quantum computing came from the United States and Europe. Now, Asia is taking on a much larger role. As more countries develop advanced quantum hardware, innovation continues to speed up around the world. 3. Rigetti's Ankaa 3 reaches 99.5% fidelity. In 2025, Rigetti introduced its 84-qubit Ankaa 3 superconducting processor, reaching 99.5% 2-qubit gate fidelity, the highest level the company has achieved. Fidelity measures how accurately a quantum operation performs. The higher the fidelity, the more dependable the calculations become. Reaching 99.5% brings Rigetti closer to the level needed for fault-tolerant quantum computing, where long and complex calculations can run with far fewer errors. This result is especially important because superconducting qubits have often been criticized for being too noisy. Anka 3 shows that this technology continues to improve and remains competitive with trapped ion and neutral atom systems. For industries interested in quantum optimization, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, Rigetti's progress confirms that superconducting quantum hardware is still a strong option for future real-world applications. 2. The United Nations names 2025, the International Year of Quantum Science. Not every major breakthrough comes from new hardware. In 2025, the United Nations officially declared the year the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, marking 100 years since the beginning of quantum mechanics. This recognition brings worldwide attention to the field. It encourages governments, universities, research centers, and private companies to work together and invest more in quantum science. The announcement also reflects how much the field has grown. Quantum computing is no longer viewed as a small area of research. It is becoming an important technology with the potential to influence industries and scientific progress around the world. 1. Microsoft's Majorana. 1 topological qubit chip. Our number one breakthrough is Microsoft's Majorana 1 processor, introduced in February 2025. This is the first processor built around topological qubits, a design expected to be much more stable because it naturally resists many common sources of error. The chip is made using a new topoconductor material that combines indium arsenide and aluminum. Right now, the processor operates with only a small number of qubits, but its architecture was designed with future expansion in mind. In theory, this approach could allow millions of hardware-protected qubits to fit on a single chip. That would greatly reduce the amount of error correction needed and make large-scale quantum computing much more practical. Researchers are still examining whether Microsoft's work has fully demonstrated genuine Majorana states. Even so, if the results continue to hold up, this breakthrough could mark one of the biggest turning points in the history of quantum computing. From advances in climate modeling and drug research to certified quantum randomness and topological qubits, 2025 has become a landmark year for quantum computing. If you enjoyed this countdown, let us know which breakthrough impressed you the most in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn more about the latest technology and science stories, be sure to watch the recommended video now on your screen. Thanks for watching.